We strapped you guys up for a lie detector test.
Yes, you did.
And now we got the answer.
Oh, I'm ready for this.
First, Johnny, do you bring up Wes in your personal life because you are secretly obsessed with him? And you said no.
No.
And the lie detector test determined?
The 90s.
The Ford Bronco carrying O.J. Simpson heads northbound.
A decade of triumph
Mr. Mandela has walked his first steps to freedom.
and tragedy.
And as word spreads of Princess Diana's death, there are tears and an overwhelming outpouring of grief.
Of innovation
It's a whole new world right at our fingertips, the internet.
and scandal.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
But perhaps the biggest crime was the fashion.
My style in the 90s was absolutely horrendous. The spiky hair, the baggy jeans. I remember when I used to wear my pants backwards because of crisscross.
But whatever your thoughts on that decade's duds, there's no doubt that it's left an indelible mark on fashion history, resulting in a collectibles market that is capitalizing on 90s nostalgia. Meet Slobby Robby, star of Netflix series Slobby's World, and the man who's gonna teach me how to turn 90s garb into gold.
Yeah! What's up, cowboy?
The 90s vintage god.
Yes.
In the flesh and blood.
This is it. I'm real. I'm real.
This guy,
Believe
man.
it.
What is it about the 90s, man, that gets you so jazzed up?
I think, individuality, loud colors, the puffy pants, the crazy haircut, really not being afraid to be yourself. And I really have always embraced that.
Generation Cool is essentially a window to the inside psyche of Slobby Robby.
Literally a window. Come on in. Woo! Nostalgia for sale.
Check it out, man.
This is a little man by the name of MC Hammer. We got a bunch of nasty colors that have no business being on top of pink. A very, very 90s, what you would call rap tee.
Yeah.
And rap tees are big business now.
Talk about loud.
Yeah, I'm the only one who could pull those off on the whole planet. This is the Air Max 98. Beautiful piece of art. A shoe like this could be worth up to $200, $250, but I can tell you I got it for $10.
The 90s sure is a profitable business, and when it comes to being a vintage dealer, image is everything.
All right, Johnny, let's see what you got. Stop. Yeah! You got the vintage look, and now it's time to learn the vintage game. Lesson 1 is vintage versus retro. Retro is a remake of something older. Just because it's retro doesn't mean it's vintage. What we've got here is some Air Jordans. One of these is retro, one of them is vintage. Which one would you buy and which one would you pass on?
The craftsmanship is a little more original. I would say that this one would be a vintage and this would be a retro.
So you're exactly right. You can kind of see where they struggled with sewing the patent leather. Whereas here, that is a nice clean stitch on the patent leather. Here we have a St. Louis Cardinals jersey and a St. Louis Cardinals shirt.
This would be the vintage, this would be the retro. And it's these little imperfections that make it more desirable.
You got it, kid? And 10 times out of 10, if it has a screen printed size tag, it's not vintage. So, once you know I want this or I don't want that, you gotta figure out how much am I gonna pay for it, how much am I gonna sell it for.
Got it.
Customer walks in with this. Kellogg's Corn Flakes, special windbreaker. I'm not gonna go, ooh!
Yeah.
Oh my God, we're gonna get $80 for this thing. I'm gonna be like, kind of throw that to the side. I don't want that, but he doesn't know that yet. We call that playing it cool. All right, so Johnny, play it cool right now for me. I'm bringing that to you, play it cool. All right, well, we don't want to piss off the customers.
Okay.
We want to be poker face, not jerk face. You know what I'm saying?
Poker face, not jerk face. Got it.
Deal.
Flea markets are a haven for vintage goods. If you know what you're looking for, that is. So armed with my newfound knowledge, Slobby and I head to Tanque Verde Swap Meet to see if we can score some 90s gems.
We're looking for some dusty memories, all right? Some hidden treasures. How about this guy? That's pretty colorful, man.
Santana,
The musician, Santana?
This is a $100 T-bro.
Really? Hold on, check it out.
What kind of stitch?
Single stitch.
There you go. That's sick.
Okay. So we were thinking on these two, $5 each.
All right, 18 bucks, you got it.
Dude, I almost feel like we should get arrested for robbery.
We wait till we walk far away before we talk about that.
This is bulls.
Oh, nice.
Buddy, I think we might have struck some gold here.
This is a triple whammy, bro.
I got you.
What are you asking for these two? I was thinking do 15 on this one and 10 on that one. So essentially, we'll meet you in the middle.
Sounds good.
All right. I don't even think we're collectors anymore. We're pirates because we're straight pillaging booty. Ooh. Oh. Hermes.
Howdy.
How about we do 15 on this guy and 8?
23. Michael Jordan.
You got yourself a deal, young lady.
Right now, as it stands, I'm gonna go ahead and grant you the title of 90s connoisseur. We at least quadrupled. So we not only met our goal, but we exceeded it. And you're cool enough to hang out with me now. We can get down.
My man. Let's go. I gotta go change before I get beat up wearing this.
Before smartphones, iPads, and flat screens, children had to rely on more analog ways to entertain themselves.
Knots in your hair. What have you been doing?
And the 90s sure did produce some gems.
Oh man, you guys have the sunflower Barbie? I feel like I'm in heaven right now. This is like every child's dream. What was it about the 90s that made toys in that generation so memorable?
Well, coming into the 1990s, almost every toy was connected to a cartoon or a TV show. That's the trouble, they never sound like they're supposed to. Also, electronics began to be integrated into toys. Get ready for the shake.
Oh.
It gave the chance to have interaction with the toys could talk back to you.
Furbies.
Furbies were the rage. The NSA banned them from their headquarters. They were afraid that they were going to be able to record stuff in the building, so Furbies were banned.
Are there any 90s toys that are highly collectible?
Well, there are Tamagotchis that go for $600–700.
Is that a Technodrome?
It is.
No, it's not.
It is.
This is all Ninja Turtles?
Yep. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles hit $100–125.
Oh my God, you got a blimp? How badass is that? Say hello to my little friend. You absolutely blow me away with your collection here. However, I have not seen a Cabbage Patch Kid.
Unfortunately, we sold our last Cabbage Patch Kid a couple of months ago. However, I will let you in on a little toy shop secret.
Okay.
There is a place that you can go where you can adopt your very own Cabbage Patch Kid. Good luck on your quest.
I am on the outskirts of Atlanta, Georgia. We have just pulled in to Babyland General Hospital, home of the Cabbage Patch Kids. I mean, this place is insane.
Welcome to Babyland General Hospital.
It's a lot of babies.
We have lots of licensed patch doctors, licensed patch nurses. They feed them, they care for them. You'll see nurseries, you'll see kids being born, you'll find schoolrooms, everything.
Cabbage Patch Kids were introduced in 1983 by businessman and artist Xavier Roberts.
Bruce Ashley, he was actually on the cover of the Wall Street Journal.
Having started off as hand-stitched creations,
Mildred actually readopted for $20,000.
Wow.
By the 90s, they developed even more personality through individualized character traits, becoming the babies we know and love today.
This is the Cabbage Patch Olympic Kid from 1996. They became the official mascots of the Olympic teams, meeting the athletes and welcoming them to Georgia, so they were huge.
Cabbage Patch Kids may have had their big moment in the 90s, but I'm about to have mine right now.
Please head over to Mother Cabbage because I'm going to deliver my first Cabbage Patch baby.
Yes, you heard it right. Beneath the branches of the magic crystal tree, Mother Cabbage is in labor with my firstborn. Time for Dr. Bananas to leap into action.
Now we're gonna measure the dilation, and we're at a full 10 leaves, ladies and gentlemen. The baby I'm delivering now is essentially the fruit of my loins, which is quite terrifying. I'm gonna give the baby a little TLC. Who knows what TLC stands for? Tender loving care. I thought it was T-Baw's Left Eye and Chili. The band? It's big in the 90s? No? Just me? All right. I've had the luxury of living a very free life, and now I am taking the giant leap into fatherhood. Oh.
He's all right. He got a little queasy.
Sorry. Now, we're gonna push. 1, 2, 3. Couldn't hear you. You need to be a little bit louder. Ah! It's got me! Let it go! Ah! Push! Push! Pop! Woo! It's a baby boy! Good looks must run in the family. My mom is gonna be so happy.
Very good.
Today is the first day of the rest of my life. You guys ever seen such a cute thing in your whole lives? Today I got to live out a childhood dream, and that is play with a Cabbage Patch Kid with no judgment. What's your baby's name? The 90s, hands down, were the best generation for toys. This generation is going to be the best generation for fatherhood.
Accommodations for first look provided by the Whitley, a luxury collection hotel in Atlanta Buckhead. Go to thewhitleyhotel.com to book your next visit.
Ethan Merman, Justin Timberlake. Oh, whoa, watch where you're walking.
Excuse me, what is your problem?
Joey Fatone from NSYNC.
Hey, man, how's it going?
Knew I recognized you. I haven't seen you since the 90s, man.
Really? Roll the footage.
Stock up on that hair gel and press play on that cassette player, because we're heading back to the height of boy band mania, where the likes of Boyz II Men, New Kids on the Block, and the Backstreet Boys ruled the airwaves.
They were the definition of cool. The way they then harmonized their voices, the synchronized dance moves. It was the first time ever that I actually wanted to learn how to dance.
Let's get it on now. And the band of my preteen dreams was NSYNC. With over 72 million records sold worldwide, they were tearing up my heart for sure.
I'd say there's only 3 things in this world that I love. My family, pizza, and NSYNC. Not necessarily in that order. I think I might actually love NSYNC more than my family.
The 90s was a good time. Nirvana was in it first in the beginning of the 90s, and then as it progressed with Hanson and also Backstreet and Spice Girls really opened and paved the way for boy bands and girl bands for that matter. The Backstreet Boys definitely were supposedly our arch-nemesis, but it was all more of a friendly competition. I didn't care. I've been friends with these guys now, actually the Backstreet Boys, so it's more of a playful, fun kind of tongue-in-cheek thing because we like just to bust chops. 90s has come back in full force lately, which is crazy to see. Backstreet Boys going on tour. You got New Kids on the Block going on tour. And the cool thing about it is you get your name.
Look at this.
And they got, you know what, I gotta clean
look
this.
Look at where we're at right now.
NSYNC, Boyz II Men. You got Backstreet Boys and New Kids on the Block. Isn't that crazy?
Do you ever come over here and like secretly like?
Not with Boyz II Men. I'd spit on them.
Backstreet Boys.
Right.
But Joey has said bye-bye-bye to his boy band days and is now embarking on a new chapter as host of trivia show Common Knowledge.
You got it!
So in an attempt to earn my 90s stripes, we're hitting the streets to see what Hollywood knows about the 90s.
Can you feel it? There you go. No, not that. Don't do that. You know a little bit of 90s trivia?
I hope I remember.
All right.
You get 3 right. Joey here's gonna do Downward Dog. If you get 3 wrong, then you guys have to sing an NSYNC song. If you guys get 2 out of 3 right, Joey and I have to dance to Kid and Play. How many original Beanie Babies were there?
12.
Wrong! That was 9.
Which of these was not one of the Spice Girls? Baby Spice, Fashion Spice, or Scary Spice?
Fashion Spice.
That is correct. If your pager was beeped with 1, 4, 3, what was the sender telling you?
I love you.
I love you too, but I still feel the need to see other people.
In Boy Meets World, what is the name of Corey Matthews' girlfriend?
Everyone had a crush on this one back in the day.
It's a panga.
Wow! Wow, you guys are good.
Hollywood nailed the 90s knowledge, so I guess now it's time to hold up our side of the bargain.
How's my form?
I can't put my heels on the floor.
You have to.
No, I can't. I can do this. Back. Okay. Got. Now hop in a circle.
Woo! Woo!
Eat your heart out, JT. NSYNC's got a new leading man.
Boom!
Yes!
Coming up.
To Wes. Do you bring up Johnny in your personal life because you are secretly obsessed with him? You said no. The lie detector test determined
Hey, Bob. Need a hand?
No thanks.
With the advent of cable, TV in the 90s was one of the fastest growing mediums. From laugh-out-loud sitcoms like Friends,
how you doing?
to binge-worthy dramas like ER,
Can never depend on men.
it was a decade that shot the likes of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and The X-Files straight into cult fame.
You think I'm spooky?
But the genre that really took off was daytime talk shows. Whether it was Jerry Springer's outrageous antics,
Today we're talking to guests who want to confess to others that they are sleeping with their man.
or Ricky Lake's doorbell chiming in The Cheating Ex-Lover, the 90s simply reeked of dirty laundry.
I got myself a new man, and he is wonderful.
And the man who's been hanging it out to dry for the past 28 years is the one and only Maury.
I'm living out a childhood dream right now. I am. I really am. You're an icon of the 90s.
Come on, I'll put that decade up to any. We had every possible talk show in the world on in the 90s. Every story that used to be in the garbage can, all of a sudden, they became big-time stories.
You seem to have a way with women.
No.
You are such a liar, dude.
You were always worried about what was the competitive show doing? How were you going to differentiate yourself? And the way we did it in the 90s was we came upon the lie detector test and the paternity test. You are not the father. I mean, that just pushed the envelope even farther.
But Maury's got nothing on the drama that's been going on in my life. My 15-year rivalry with my challenge co-star Wes Bergmann has reached new heights.
You suck. You look like a pig.
Time to resolve this 90s style.
Okay, I can fix this.
Okay.
All right, Johnny, take a seat.
Welcome.
You have an arch-nemesis.
His name is Wes Bergmann. Wes essentially wants to be me.
Johnny is adamant that Wes is using Johnny to advance his career.
100%.
Wes claims, by the way, Johnny is the real obsessor.
Delusional.
That's the truth. That's
Delusional.
right. That's the truth.
And that Johnny rode his coattails to fame.
True. Right.
How do we get to the truth? Guess what? Lie detector test. So, he wants to be you, that's why he's obsessed with you?
All right, case in point, because this is proof positive right here that Wes is obsessed with me. Now, let's look at the timestamp. February 14th, Valentine's Day. I really just want to send out a heartfelt thank you on this Valentine's Day to the person that's been obsessed with me for 10 plus years, is constantly thinking and talking about me, and has based their entire career off riding my coattails. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Johnny Bananas.
Yeah.
So what is this showing? On Valentine's Day morning, when Wes should be thinking about his wife, his mother, his sister, an important lady is like, who's he thinking about?
That's a good
me!
point. That's a fair point.
Me!
Here's Wes Bergmann.
What?
He says you're obsessed with him.
Yeah, are you kidding me? It's the other way around.
He brought a tape.
Hey, AJ, how much for this Wes Bergmann doll?
Constantly thinking about me. I just want to live in a world where I don't get bullied by what I look like.
Look at how much subject material I have.
Meanwhile, it is time for the real challenge.
Yes.
All right?
Thank you. I've been waiting 15 years for this. Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah, I wonder why he's a little nervous.
We strapped you guys up for a lie detector test.
Yes, you did.
And now we got the answers.
Oh, I'm ready for this.
First, to Wes. Do you bring up Johnny in your personal life because you are secretly obsessed with him? You said no. The lie detector test determined you're telling the truth.
Yeah! No way! No way!
That's one for me!
No!
One for me!
Johnny.
Recalibrate that machine, Maury.
Do you bring up Wes in your personal life because you are secretly obsessed with him? And you said no.
No.
And the lie detector test determined you're telling the truth.
Woo! I told you! I told you!
This machine is wrong!
There's no way! There's no
Wes,
way!
do you pick fights with Johnny to further your own career? You said no. The lie detector test determined that was a lie.
No!
Yeah, Johnny, do you pick fights with Wes to further your own career? And you said no, and the lie detector test determined that was a lie. Wes, do you actually want to be friends with Johnny? You said no. The lie detector test determined that was a lie. Johnny, do you actually want to be friends with Wes? You said no, and the lie detector test determined you're telling the truth. There you go.
There you go. Well, see, I knew this. I've always known this. You actually do want to be my friend.
Even more reason why you're. This is
Bring
fake.
it in for the real thing, Bergie.
Wow.
Bring it in for the real thing.
Okay.
We're such good friends.
This made it so much worse. This made it so much worse. How did you fake that last question?
I did not fake anything, okay? Ask your wife. I don't fake anything.
So there you have it, the 90s. The decade may be over, but its influence still lives on today. See you next week.
Let's get it on.